Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast.
Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Thea Myhrvold. Thea Myhrvold is a globally recognized founder and CEO of GetBEE, a B2B knowledge sharing platform designed to improve consumer shopping experiences and transform the future of work. With a track record of accomplishment in technology and innovation for more than 10 years, she is known for strong leadership and communication skills with an innate ability to build and scale technology startups. As a fierce advocate for women and diversity in technology, Myhrvold is a strong believer that technology can be a force for good for people and the planet. Well, good afternoon, Thea. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me here today.
This is amazing, Thea. You have an amazing story. You're an entrepreneur, but we're going to jump into these questions and how you pivoted, not only during the pandemic, but also from where you're originally from in Norway, and now you're in Dubai and you're a fully remote company. So this is really exciting. So jumping in here, Thea, you've got quite the career in tech education as a serial entrepreneur and now the founder and CEO of GetBEE. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth and what inspires you?
Well, that's a great question. For me, throughout my career and my journey, technology has always been about scaling impact and creating meaningful human connections. That's sort of the story that's glued together my whole technology career. I built also one of the first global marketplaces for learning, connecting teachers and students all over the world. So it was truly about scaling impact. But if you look at my academic career, however, I had a completely different career path when I was younger. And if you had told me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I would have never said tech and I would have never said entrepreneur. I didn't know those two options were available to me at the time. I actually studied something completely different with the goal of getting into the United Nations and making the world a better place through what I thought then was the best way to do it. But I discovered apps and I discovered technology. And if we all remember when the App Store on the iOS iPhone was new before Angry Birds and all of the other apps we love today, that was just such a revolutionary concept to me when it came to distribution. How can we reach millions of users through such a powerful tool like a smartphone? And I went on to build one of the first game-based apps for high school students in 2011. That was my first sort of spark or venture into technology. So it was really exciting to me to see how you can truly scale impact at such an efficient way and such a global way as well. That's something that really excites me and inspires me.
That's awesome. And you're absolutely right. I think everybody was just in awe when the iPhone first came out and then apps started appearing. And I remember those days. I actually had one of those iPod touches right before the phone came out. And I thought that was pretty cool. So this is exciting, really, really is. So Thea, let's jump into this question about this pandemic. We've all had to make these major shifts during the lockdown, of course, but what are your plans for growth going forward? And will it be any different than during the lockdown?
I think COVID accelerated a lot of underlying trends that were already there when it comes to digital transformation and technology, as we all know. So for us, it was really just capitalizing and see where can we scale fast in terms of opportunity at a global level as well. And, we've done education, we've done wellness and healthcare, but we also saw a lot of regulation and restriction around growing that from a scalable perspective on a global stage. However, when we looked at retail and the buying journey of, any kind of product or service, really where you want to talk to a person and not a chatbot, that's where we saw just such a massive untapped potential. Because, what works offline, again, that human to human, people buying from people connection, something that we all know from the offline world, wasn't really something that was happening in an online environment or not in a scalable way. A lot of the solutions were, again, very fragmented. You had a million different tools to connect to your customers online, and that was obviously disrupted by COVID. So we thought, okay, how can we scale this? And to us, this was a very exciting market opportunity where we can touch on any buying or selling journey, really, be it from, cars to software to luxury or wellness, but any purchase that's either a highly consultative purchase or a purchase that's an emotional one, where it's either, a high value item or something that means a lot to you, where you want to speak to a person, is really where we can come in and, again, bring that human touch back into a personal, experience online. So it's very exciting to see different brands from Thinx, a feminine hygiene product based out of New York. They're one of the largest e-commerce players in this space, to wellness platforms that are doing nutrition, luxury brands as well, skincare. Very many, recognized brands are now using our service to connect to their customers online. So our biggest opportunities for growth are really scaling this more aggressively on a global level.
That's amazing. The pandemic obviously accelerated a lot of the innovation around the online work, the remote work, some of those e-commerce technologies. And so you're obviously leveraging that, and that's amazing. I love to hear these stories. So Thea, let's talk a little bit about tech, right? We're a technology publication built on blockchain, by the way. You're obviously leveraging some new and emerging technologies within your business, right? Is there anything you might be able to share with us today?
Yes, obviously video conferencing has been around for a long time, so I won't talk too much about WebRTC and the video conferencing space. But what's exciting about what we do is we connect a very fragmented experience, usually, if you use many different tools, into a very seamless B2B application. So what we do is video plus payment within video. And that's what makes us unique and special. So we can do everything from connect to your e-commerce, pull product recommendations, and actually complete a purchase within a call or a video call. So that's where we come in and really differentiate from, the typical video conferencing tools that are out there. Again, it's fully branded to look and feel like yours. So there's a lot of branding elements around it. But I think what's really exciting here is that it's a SaaS. So it's a SaaS play. It scales fully across different industries, across different segments. So we're really working with brands and businesses to co-create and to build the best sort of solution that they can use, again, on a global scale to connect to their customers. Because now everything's going online, you can connect to your customers truly all over the world, which is very, very exciting.
That is exciting. And having a product, the first of its kind, right? Like, just like we're our blockchain publication, you've got your, real-time online video payment system, which I think is pretty cool. So Thea, we're going to switch here to the last question. Can you share something from your career experience that would be helpful for those looking to grow their career in education or entrepreneurship?
I think it's really about understanding the problems you want to solve with technology, because by default, technology will always be changing and evolving. But really understanding, what problem are you solving and for which stakeholders? And then learning how to see the best use cases for technology. I think that's been my North Star and guiding purpose, has really been understanding, what problems am I solving, even in an offline world? How would this work in an offline scenario? And how can I translate this into a digital experience? I think if you understand the fundamentals, technology is a tool to facilitate and not necessarily replace. I think that's where the tech world often perhaps puts a lot of focus on the technology without understanding the real underlying problems they're solving and who they're solving them for. So I would say really understand that well, because then you will find the right solutions, the right technology, the right, perspectives to come up with creative solutions for the work that you're doing.
Thank you for sharing that. And you're absolutely right. But if you better understand the consumer, the customer, you'll give them obviously a better customer experience. But again, like you said at the beginning here, we're out to save the problems, save the world from the problems. So thanks again, Thea. And I just want to let you know it was a pleasure having you on today. And I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Thank you for having me.
Bye for now.